Hello and welcome to CNN News 18 with me Ayushman Singh Jamwal. You are watching the explosive weekend debate. The political showdown between the Aam Aadmi Party and the central government over the Delhi Ordinance has reached a whole new level, ladies and gentlemen. In a mega show of strength, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal held a rally at Ramlila Maidan in the national capital, the same place where the party started its journey 12 years ago when the anti-corruption movement was led by social activist Anna Hazare and his then protege Arvind Kejriwal. The AAP Supremo launched a scathing attack on the centre, accusing the Prime Minister of altering the constitution and alleging that the BJP government is defying the Supreme Court order. The BJP hit out at the Delhi Chief Minister, calling the Aam Aadmi Party a Maha-corrupt party. The showdown is headed to Parliament, ladies and gentlemen. The centre has enough numbers to get the Ordinance Bill passed in the Lok Sabha. The Aam Aadmi Party is trying to ensure that the bill gets stuck in the Raj Sabha, where the BJP lacks the numbers. Arvind Kejriwal has been making the rounds, trying to rally opposition support. Can the Aam Aadmi Party really rally the opposition, namely the Congress party, in the upper house?
मंच से एक अहंकारी तानाशाह को इस देश से हटाने के लिए फिर से इकट्ठे हुए हैं दोस्तों।
अगर ये दो कम पड़ रहे हो तो अरविंद केजरीवाल के पास ऐसे 100 सत्येंद्र जैन और 100 मनीष सिसोदिया, तो इन भ्रष्टाचारियों की पार्टी से आप उम्मीद भी क्या कर सकते हैं?
Let's get to our guests. I'm joined by RP Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP, Akshay Marathe, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, CS Jha Shiv Sena, UBT member. Thank you for joining us on CNN News 18. My first question to you, Akshay Marathe, is that now you are alleging that the centre has circumvented the Supreme Court. But let's face it, beyond a legal fight, this is now purely a political fight. The showdown now heads to Parliament. Are you confident that you have the numbers to rally the opposition to defeat this bill in the upper house?
Absolutely. First of all, let's understand what has happened in Delhi. The Supreme Court has given a verdict in favor of the people of Delhi and said that the elected government, who has been voted by 67 out of the 70 members of the Assembly, should be allowed to function without any impediments. But the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has chosen to defy the Supreme Court and defy the democratic principles on which this country has been built, and has chosen to completely demolish the right of the people of Delhi to elect their own government. So I think as as a responsible citizen of India, it is my duty and it is the duty of every Indian citizen to fight against this undemocratic and dictatorial regime, which has been led by an uneducated Prime Minister who does not understand the Constitution, who does not understand democracy, and is only interested in serving his friends, his corporate friends, and is giving away this country lock, stock and barrel to his corporate friends that we all know who has been exposed in front of this country. And I believe that in the Rajya Sabha, when this bill comes to the floor of the House, all parties who are patriotic, all parties who believe in India's democracy will vote against this illegal, unconstitutional ordinance and show Mr. Modi that India is still a democratic country, India still runs by rules, and the people of Delhi will emerge victorious at the end of this battle.
I'm just trying to figure out the brass tacks, because at the end of the day, the Congress party has still not come out in support of your pitch in the upper house. They have 31 MPs, a chunk that you seriously need if you want to defeat this bill. Can you get them on board? You think you can?
Look, the Congress party today has only two options. Are they going to stand with the Bharatiya Janata Party, or are they going to stand with India's democracy? I think better sense will prevail on Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party when the people will ask them the question that if you vote in favor of the BJP's ordinance in Parliament, what is the difference between Congress and BJP? The people of India today want to see a clear verdict against the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the Congress will have no option but to choose the side of the people and the Constitution.
Right, but the Congress also at the same time has not forgotten that the same man who you were sharing a stage with today, Kapil Sibal, back when the India Against Corruption movement was running, Arvind Kejriwal called him a corrupt minister. He was a minister in the UPA. The point is that that bad blood hasn't been forgotten. Of course, political expediency is something that you are depending on, that wins the day for you in the upper house. But it's not that easy, Akshay, when it comes to navigating the politics. You still have a lot of work to do when it comes to rallying the support. And let's face it, beyond the semantics that you're putting out, at the end of the day, this is a political fight in Parliament. RP Singh, you think the Aam Aadmi Party can rally the numbers and defeat the ordinance in Parliament?
Well, before that, Mr. Jambal, I would like to understand, do patriotism includes fight against corruption or not? The two ministers are in jail and the bureaucracy is being threatened not to pursue the cases or to alter the course of the cases in a fashion by tampering with the documents and the evidences. If that's the case, then what's the option with the centre? And again, the gentleman, Mr. Marathi, just told you half truth. The full truth is that that same court order on page number 66, para number 95, categorically states that yes, if centre find it good, they can alter the law and it will be abiding on all. So that's what the centre has done. They brought the ordinance. They can now take it to the route through the route of the Parliament, and it will be passed through the Parliament. Once it's passed through the Parliament, there's the law. I mean, there's no issue on that. But saying no, this is Hitler-baji and this is all that crap he speaks. The Chief Minister speaks only crap. All that crap he speaks. So and naming Prime Minister by all those curse words. I mean, that doesn't help. The fact is that his two ministers are in jail. He is bothered and worried that next is his term because gradually things are inching toward him also, and he wants to safeguard his skin. That's the main issue, and that's why he is trying to bully the bureaucracy. I mean, I still remember Anshu Prakash, one of the Chief Secretary of the city, was called at 12 o'clock at night at the residence of Mr. Kejriwal and was thrashed by his colleagues and friends and MLAs in the party, and then the case is still on. So is this the way you want to run the democracy? Does the concept of democracy you have of Bhimrao Ambedkar ji, where you threaten the bureaucracy? You at midnight at 2 o'clock you go at the office of the vigilance department and then try to copy or whatever. We don't know what the inquiry is still on, but try to tinker with the documents and evidence. Otherwise, tell me who will go to the
fair,
RP Singh, office at 2 o'clock at night and do that? What is that?
To be fair, RP Singh, these are charges that you have levelled. There's still no, completion when it comes to the investigation. This is just purely a political fight at the end of the day.
No, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Give me a second.
Go ahead.
Give me a second. No, give me a second. No. Charges. I mean, Anshu Prakash, the Chief Secretary of the city, is on record. It's not charges. It's not merely.
It's still a charge. There's no conviction.
This case,
and also,
Mr. Kejriwal has already been acquitted in this case, Mr. RP Singh. All of the Aam Aadmi Party leaders have already been acquitted in this case.
Are the friends of Mr. Kejriwal? No. Mr. Kejriwal was never involved in that. But the friends of Mr. Kejriwal, your other MLAs were involved in that. Are they been discharged? Your friends in the party have been discharged, and also.
Right. I think before we get into the tutu meme, I want to get the other panelists on the panel as well. CS Jha, you're joining us from the Uddhav faction of the Shiv Sena. In your opinion, Uddhav Thackeray has extended support to Arvind Kejriwal, so has Sharad Pawar, but Congress is your ally in the Aghadi alliance. They see it very differently. When push comes to shove, in your opinion, will your Maharashtra ally, the Congress party, back the Aam Aadmi Party once this bill comes up for vote in the Rajya Sabha?
See, it depends upon the situation. Right now, Mr. RP Singh, when he submitted that democratically they are running the government, I do not think so that they are running any government democratically because they are avoiding every type of constitutional rules and laws, and they are bypassing all the rules to engage other opposition governments into some kind of problems, and they are not going with the constitution. So it is very clear, and right now what we see that the ordinance which is being brought out by BJP is completely unconstitutional, because already a constitution bench has given a judgment.
Right.
Whereby a union territory run by a government, which is an elected government, it cannot be done so that they cannot work and they cannot select their officers and in charge to run the government. So it's completely unconstitutional, and I think the Congress and other allies should also oppose this bill.
Right. So, has Uddhav Thackeray had a word with his Congress allies when it comes to extending support? Because let's face it, at the end of the day, you're saying that the Congress should support it. At the end of the day, it's all about the brass tacks. It's all about the numbers inside the upper house. BJP stands at 91 MPs, Congress at 31. If the Aam Aadmi Party rallies all the other parties, including yours, then the numbers just don't add up. They'll be defeated in the upper house. But when we talk about the legality of this, everyone is calling this ordinance unconstitutional. Amitabh Sinha, I want to get your view on this when it comes to this ordinance that has been pushed by the BJP after the Supreme Court ruling in favor of the Delhi government. Can this stand judicial scrutiny? Because I'm looking at the constitutional bench order in the DC Vadhva versus the state of Bihar that held that the power of the executive to promulgate an ordinance should not be, and I quote, perverted to serve political ends. Can that argument be made against this ordinance in the court of law?
See, in this entire ambit of argument, I will only try to focus on legal issue, not a political issue. Number two, see, in this Constitution's Article 123 has given all rights about this enactment of ordinance to the executive. So, and the balance of power is very much there in the provisions of the Constitution. So, the executive can always do whatever is fit and what seems to be fit in front of their wisdom. So, if under Article 123, the Constitution has given right to the executive is very much empowered to do that. And after that, if the executive or the government, whatever you may call it, so if the government or the executive is empowered and they are sufficiently numbered, they can get it enacted as a law also. Mm-hmm. So in previous so many matters, in Shahbano case, a full constitution bench had given, one verdict in a lady called Shahban. Right. And the government completely overruled that judgment and changed the CRPC. So the presidencies are so many in this Indian democracy. My point is, if Delhi government has been given this special status by the the parliament. The parliament has to look into the matter. What exactly should be given to the state government, or because this is not a full-fledged state. Mm-hmm. It is, a special state. That state is because of the delicate and complicated position, because this is in Delhi, and in Delhi the central government is also there. So the central government is running, and the full-fledged state government will also start running. Then, so many confusions may arise. That's right. Why the Delhi Statehood Act was passed in 1990. So, because of certain reasons. So, I think what the executive or the government thinks fit, they have every right to enact this ordinance, and then the parliament, when it will come for the session, it will.
Right.
If
right.
Parliament
right. I want to take that view.
Can I come in?
Yeah, I want to take that view to you, Akshay. As the Amitabh Sinha is pointing out, the centre is well within its rights to push this ordinance. Even the party that you're pitching, for its support, the Congress party has done it in the past. Mr. Sinha brought up the Shahbano case, where a constitutional bench took a decision and then in an act of parliament, it was completely overturned. This has happened in the past by multiple governments. The BJP is exercising its power when it comes to this ordinance. Now the showdown is political in parliament. The point is, do you really feel that all these parties who you have called the fountainheads of corruption in your run-up to power will end up supporting you when you really need it?
First of all, let me point out, Mr. Kejriwal has traveled across the breadth of the country and met all like-minded parties, including the DMK in Tamil Nadu, including Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray faction in Maharashtra, NCP, Sharad Pawar in Maharashtra, Hemant Soren ji in Jharkhand, Akhilesh Yadav ji in Uttar Pradesh, Mamata Banerjee in West Bengal, and several other leaders of the country, including Mr. Sitaram Yechuri of the CPM. And all of these parties which represent the views and aspirations of the entire country have endorsed Mr. Kejriwal's view and the Aam Aadmi Party's view that the ordinance is illegal and must be defeated in Parliament. The question about the Congress is not so much a question on partisan lines. It is not as if the Congress has not been in power in Delhi. Tomorrow it may happen that Congress or BJP are in power in Delhi. So it's not about the Aam Aadmi Party's power over Delhi government. It is the power of the people of Delhi who have elected this government. Now, coming to the legal question that was raised by Mr. Sinha just before I spoke, it is an established principle in Indian law that a constitution cannot be amended by an act of parliament. The constitution can be amended only by a constitutional amendment that has to be passed by 2/3 majority. And the BJP does not have a 2/3 majority in parliament.
You're calling
which
this
is why
a
it is choosing to use
amendment.
A act of no.
What the BJP is doing is a constitutional amendment.
Has given Delhi. No, it is not. The constitution has given Delhi the power over all subjects except for police, land, and law and order. All other subjects have been given to the people of Delhi by the constitution. The parliament does not have the right to amend the constitution without passing a constitutional amendment. This ordinance and the subsequent act of parliament which the BJP will bring
I want to get some clarity on this. I think you're conflating two issues. Mr. Amitabh Sinha, can you react to that? Is Akshay kind of like conflating multiple legal issues?
Yes,
Mr. Jambal,
Mr.
Jambal asked them to refer to page number 66, para 95.
Right. I want to get a Mr. Singh, I'll come to you. I want to get a clarification from Mr. Sinha. Please go ahead.
No, you are being misguided. You are being misguided.
Yeah, I want to get a clarification from the lawyer, sir.
Complete judgment. In the judgment, page 66, para 95 categorically states that.
Right, absolutely. Mr. Sinha,
what does the judgment say?
Is Mr. Marathe, is the Aam Aadmi Party conflating this issue with something else? Mr. Sinha, please go ahead.
Yes. Number one, what my friend from Aam Aadmi Party is trying to, give his opinion. See, if the requirement of numbers in Parliament is there, the Parliament will decide. There is no hurry. If the ordinance is there and the ordinance is for the constitutional amendment, then the Parliament will show that the constitutional amendment is possible or not, 2/3 or whatever the number as per the constitutional provisions are there. So let the government decide whether they are capable to do the constitutional amendment or not. Number one. Number two, see, in this situation, whatever the powers are with the state government, the powers came to the state government through the Parliament Act only. So the Parliament will decide that what type of government should be there in this special status of Delhi state. So I think the Parliament is supreme in this matter, and if the ordinance is there only to decide whether the Parliament is to decide or the Constitution bench.
Yeah, I come back to my original point.
Can I correct?
Yeah, I come back to my original point. It's all about numbers in Parliament, Akshay. I come back to my original point. It's all about the numbers in Parliament, and all the leaders that you have talked about that Arvind Kejriwal has gone to meet, all the non-Congress leaders, you add them up, it's 75 seats in the Rajya Sabha. BJP stands at 91, Congress is at 31, majority mark is 123. You have a lot of challenges ahead of you when it comes to fighting this fight in Parliament. RP Singh, please go ahead.
Can I just correct?
Let RP Singh make his point and then you can come in.
But it's important. This is an important point. The ordinance
okay, 30 seconds
the BJP government has brought in is not a constitutional amendment ordinance. It is an act. It is a statutory ordinance. So the statute cannot change the constitution. The constitution has given Delhi the power over services.
Under 123,
so just imagine
under Article 123,
the Supreme Court,
my dear friend,
the Supreme Court
the
has
same
said,
type of provision is required.
I'm sorry. The Supreme Court has said that services will firmly be under the elected government. Otherwise, the elected government cannot function.
Right. So, and the BJP has legally pushed the ordinance. That's the point.
The elected government
must have.
I think you're muddling your legal arguments over here, and Amitabh Sinha has anyway clarified it that you're muddling your legal arguments. Yeah, RP Singh, please go ahead.
Amitabh Sinha is not above the Supreme Court, my sir. Amitabh Sinha is not above.
Right, but the government is well within its rights to push an ordinance, regardless of what the Supreme Court said. But sir, I'm saying the Constitution bench passed the Shah Bano verdict, Parliament overturned it. This has happened in the past. RP Singh, please go ahead.
The constitution has made it clear that the elected government will have control over services.
Right.
The
Akshay, now, Akshay, RP Singh has not, Akshay, RP Singh has not interrupted you. Please let him make his point. RP Singh, please go ahead.
The problem is, Akshay, is that he carries a DNA of anarchism, and that's why he doesn't accept the advice of Mr. Sinha also, who is a senior lawyer in the Supreme Court. I mean, he obviously, and probably the Mr. Akshay
We
Marathe
believe in the judiciary,
be
not individual lawyers. I'm sorry.
Sir, please.
Akshay, he didn't
you are
interrupt a
anarchist,
word when
sorry,
you were
I
speaking.
didn't want to
Please
use this word.
extend him the same courtesy. Go ahead, Mr. RP Singh.
They don't believe in extending courtesy. They don't believe in extending courtesy because they hail from the ideology which doesn't believe in this. So I grant them this, but still, when Mr. Marathe, your age and Mr. Sinha's experience in the judicial system will be equal. I mean, he would have spent that much of time as a lawyer in the Supreme Court at that of your age. So at least have that much of courtesy to would have experienced the judicial life. But that's point aside. Issue is that they have all the right to go to court. Let them go to court. The courts will open, or they could have gone to the court even during the summer session also. They could have made a special request to the court and seek the advice of the court. Because as I stated, he's not referring to that. As I stated, I'm sorry, I'm repeating it. In para 95, page 66, categorically states that if centre wants, it can amend the act. And that's what centre has done. And it also says that everyone will have to abide by the amendment. That's what the centre has done.
Right.
And now it has to be ratified by the parliament. It will be ratified by the parliament. Now they can, no, give me a second, give me a second.
Yeah,
now
Akshay, I'll give you the final word. Don't worry.
They are sitting, they can, give me a second, please. I never interrupted. Give me another second, please.
Go for it.
They can sit with Mr. Kapil Sibal, whom they used to abuse till yesterday, saying that he's the most corrupt politician, most corrupt minister in the government. And also, they have gone and bowed down in front of whom? Sharad Pawar. Oh, they used to accuse Mr. Sharad Pawar of the kingpin of the corruption. Sonia Gandhi ji, most corrupt lady, just Mr. Kejriwal's word. Lalu Yadav, the most corrupt person, as per Mr. Kejriwal. Now, he's bending in front of Mr. Lalu Yadav. So this shows the evolution of Aam Aadmi Party, that they have evolved from the anti-corruption tirade or crusade to the most corrupt party or the most corrupt people in the system.
Right.
And the only reason, again I repeat, is that Mr. Kejriwal is worried about the judiciary or the law catching on him, and that's why he's worried that gradually things will come down to his door and he will have to suffer the same consequence as his two friends are suffering in jail today.
Right. Akshay, I'll give you the final word, because let's face it, at the end of the day, this ordinance is not beyond judicial review. You can still go to the court. And number two, Arvind Kejriwal is trying to rub shoulders with all those people he called corrupt. And let's face it, when it comes to charges against other political leaders, Arvind Kejriwal is the one who made the rounds apologizing to everyone.
Narendra Modi is the one who stole the elected government of Delhi after Arvind Kejriwal had won 67 out of 70 seats. Have you asked any questions of Mr. Modi? Why is he stealing the
Why is your answer a
children
question?
that
Can I
you
ask
would
you a
take
question?
support of any other party?
Who formed
and
Mr.
you took support of Congress party.
I extended the courtesy to you.
No,
Right. Mr. RP Singh, he didn't. Mr. RP Singh, he didn't interrupt.
Congress party in spite of swearing on your children. Mr. Kejriwal took oath on his children that they won't take support of Congress party, and still they took support of Congress party. That's your character and DNA is.
Right. I think this tutu meme is not going to get us anywhere. But at the end of the day, it's a political fight. I want to thank our guests for joining us on the show. RP Singh, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Akshay Marathe, Aam Aadmi Party, CS Jha of the Shiv Sena UBT, and Amitabh Sinha, senior lawyer. It's a political fight at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. It's the showdown in Parliament. The big question is, beyond the semantics, can the Aam Aadmi Party rally the numbers to defeat the ordinance? But that's all we have to pack in on the show. Thank you for watching.